Welcome back. Big show. Here we go. Jezza, how many can he kick? Naz, does he stay? Does he go? Speaking of players leaving, Jack Silvagni, Daisy?
We have a good discussion about whether or not he feels valued, he wants to be at the Blues, or whether or not he should go elsewhere. And I probe you two boys about what it was like not being liked at a football club. Obviously, Daisy was loved everywhere. Well, you took the week extra because we needed you to hone in on and have you delivered on a team.
I have an all-Australian team as of round 20. Now, there's a few. It's littered with stars. Some match winners in there. But there's always the question, who did you leave out?
Also, we hit that propeller and we reset. Tune in. Big show. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Aces AFL show powered by Points Bet, joined by Daisy, Thomas, Mitchie, Wallace. Just get straight into it, boys. I've heard enough of you planning this week's propeller, thinking about, well, when you look at a propeller option,
yes,
are you just looking at Points Bet and seeing who's kicked 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or do you actually put thought, merit, process, stat mate behind it? Because I'm coming in hot.
So you've started with a hello, welcome, and just put me boy right on the bloody...
Yes, because you guys are taking the piss.
Taking the piss?
Pre-show, taking the piss, and I need to just get straight into it. No point talking off air. I just feel like these prop bets,
It was a good weekend for the propeller.
It was a great weekend. How did we go? How'd you go on the weekend?
How'd you go?
0 from 4, but 6 from 7. Off air, I told you I want Dacos for 40. You all laughed at me. I said Baslinger will kick a goal. I said Jezza for 10.
There is nothing funnier than coming in here on a, whatever day we film it. What day is
Wednesday.
it? On a Wednesday.
He doesn't know what day. He does content every other day except for Thursday. That's on the golf course.
You thought you've got something in your mind. You come in, you go, I really like this. And Tommy goes, life on the line, would you do it? I don't know. And then the seed of doubt is planted.
I just want this thing to go off.
Taxes, and if you put your life on the line.
If it was for your life.
Well, that's how we got to, or do you think that's the wrong way to go about it?
I think you're putting too much pressure on it.
I just take it seriously.
No. There's taking it seriously, but you've got to trust your gut.
There's a few different factors, and research is one thing, but feel. And then we talk about whether we're going into some intricate sort of, layers of detail.
We want the drone up.
Yeah, get the drone up. And what are they doing on a
We might need drone land at, in Adelaide so I can suss out what's doing with the weather so I don't lock in player. I turned on Saturday in Morphettville. It was a heavy 15, I reckon. Oh, my God. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I just wanted to get into it.
It was a disappointing weekend. After we built a lot of momentum. We're not going to sugarcoat it.
Where are we
0
at,
from 4.
Well, I don't mind a 0 from 4. I'd rather that than 3 from 4. Like get a mulligan out each and then fire up.
Yep.
If you want to stay positive, I hate it. But
I bought the Sage the other week and I went down a different route because I thought, it was bad juju. It was, it was cursed. It was tarnished. Maybe we're just a little bit broken. Maybe we're not actually cursed. Maybe we just need to fix some things within it. So if we don't get it up this week, I've reached out to a company who's going to do a sound healing session for us.
Oh my gosh!
So
get them on the pod.
We'll have to take the propeller.
What is a sound healing session?
Sound has been used to heal and mend for many, many centuries.
Wow!
So you sit down and there'll be all sorts of dings and. I actually did one in Ibiza. Oh, boy.
What a huge fail, was it?
4 a.m., was it?
Fisher.
But you never look weller.
This is...
Maybe that's what we need, a boys' weekend away, just to refresh.
There's the answer. There you go. You know what, we can't get a winner punting. We may as well go away and punt.
We might as well just blow the budget. And just...
Although we have changed. We got it straight off the top of the show. We've spoken about it. So it is. The
vibes are good. Sorry, boys. They're coming a bit hot.
The vibes are good. Poor old Wall needs a welfare check.
I just look at the points bet app. Righto.
I just wanted to know we got StatMate, our best mate. Are we referencing that, or are you guys doing I just wanted to know your research that goes into these. It is the thing that is hard is it's a Wednesday, 12 p.m. when we do this.
Yep.
That is the hardest thing about the propeller, but that's what we've signed up for. So I just wanted to ask a simple question: what you're doing, and what have you done this week, boys?
I just want, without saying what you're going with this weekend, like in terms of players, is it somebody who's kicked multiple goals in the last couple of weeks?
His trend is his form line is quite strong.
And how strong is tell me,
is it 2-2-2?
It may be 2-2-2.
It's a disgrace. So it's a disgrace. I honestly think he gets in here.
On the law of averages.
The law what averages would say. What my theory is at the casino: red, then you get on black. It's not going to just continue red, and that's why the 2 is not going to be 2 this week. It'll be 1 or it might be 3.
What about
it won't be 2 again.
What
I'm
about
telling
an
you.
angle? You know, when you think you're going to go with a bet, say last week, and then you don't. What about the next week?
Yeah, well, that's what I said last week. I said I should just fight with Sam Darcy. He goes out and kicks 6 or 7. And then, last week I lost on Rankin. You watch him go out and kick 2 or 3 this week. There's elements of that. There's just elements of also, maybe just a reset. I don't know. Maybe we're just overthinking it.
We are overthinking it. That is exactly what we're doing. We've got to go with
the players that have let us down, though, like they're super. Heaney let us down early in the year. He's had the best form ever since.
We let him down, and
we
made him then lift from that point.
We cursed Mitchie Georgiades. We cursed him. By the way, I think the tipper was texting me. I think I might have to get an update there. But there's been a lot of players that have just superstar caliber and they've just haven't delivered for us. We've cursed them.
Although if we
maybe we all need to go to Ibiza.
What if we go this week a non-superstar week?
Well, I mean, I'm open
like
to
take
anything.
someone for 15 disposals.
Geez, wouldn't they be flat when they see themselves on the propeller?
How do we categorise
How disrespectful is that?
non-superstar?
Daisy said non-superstars and we've slotted in 3.
Look, I could name you a few. Where do you want to go? It's time to name and shame.
Although, if you're talking about superstars, didn't the weekend though just gone in terms of some outrageous numbers?
How I told you, folks, I like Jeremy 11 plus. I thought that was going to be a good bet.
What about the points bet market that went up $67 for Jezza to kick 100 plus, including finals? It's now into, I think, $6 or $4. It's been crunched.
And he's kicked 69.
He needs 5 and a bit, 5.1 goals a game.
Yeah. And he's got some of the easiest matchups coming up. I think he gets Essendon in a couple of weeks. He's got Port this week. Anyway, we're going to talk about Jez in a second. Let's get back into the show. I just want to talk about the tipping comp. Boys, we've been talking about the tipping comp all year. We start to talk about the tipping comp at the back end. And I want to give a huge shout out to Lukey Butcher. He's too clear. And it's the hardest position to be in a tipping competition is too clear with a few more weeks to go, knowing that everyone's chasing you. So, Lukey, all the best. Our prizes we've got, we're cooking up. We always said it'll be a signed jersey of some sort. So I'll contact probably you and in a couple of weeks to see how clear you are and a few others so that we can try get their favourite player.
But
too clear is a big, you can kind of go favourites and be safe. Or
how's this though? If you miss tipping, historically you get the away teams if you miss the tipping.
Yeah.
Every home team is favourite this weekend.
Oh, could be a zipping.
So could be a zipping if you forget, this is a reminder if anyone's listening, they've got to get their tips
Everyone's listening well.
Everyone across the country is listening. If you're in a tipping comp, make sure you put your tips in prior to Thursday evening because if you get the away teams, each of them are
that's a public service announcement. Yeah, that's
underdogs.
There you go. You're confusing me. Well, all I know is I forgot my tips about round 6 and I've just given up because I couldn't. Once you forget your tips, once you're cooked, you can't catch up.
You're cooked.
Geez, we're due for an upset round. All right. Well, we keep moving. Geez, the TFG Tuesday podcast has gone viral. The Papley and Toby Green stuff is I love that shit. I just couldn't wait to ask Toby what happened. And also Paps, he's such a legend. We've had him on here. What a pisser he is. And he's just played it beautifully. Going in, got the skin folds the next day. Sent him a photo of
Maccas.
Send him. What's your thoughts on all that, boys?
No, I love it. And look, that's banter between two quality people. And it's funny that whether the media are trying to get an angle for someone to get upset and enforce a fine or something, but it was just two blokes who are passionate, who love the game of footy, are really competitive and going at it, and the theory of the game I love.
What a woke world we're living in when a press conference is asking the head coaches about what Toby said and if they had a problem with it. I mean, is there a look in the mirror moment for the journos? Like, have they played the game? Do they understand the banter? Or is there genuine concern about the banter that Toby said? I can't believe some of these questions they get asked.
Well, Tommy, you're right. You have to be very careful with every word you choose because there's a chance you're going to offend someone with however you do it. And when you take words that are spoken on the field of battle into the modern day society and into a workplace, you couldn't be saying those things. You couldn't say that, Trevor over in the corner of my office looks a bit chubby at half time. Like you can't say that, but that's the beauty of it. So we're not doing that. That's on a football field, and he said to get a slight advantage. It's not, things happen. You leave it there. So I love the fact that that's how everyone has taken it. It's a bit of fun. They're just having a laugh. It doesn't need to be taken as seriously as we're trying to make it out to be.
Conversely, what happened with Dane Zorko? Now, I'm not sure if the actual audio has been released, but did you see the way he responded?
I haven't heard this.
In one of the radio interviews. So he He got fined for, was it derogatory? Is that the term they used?
You don't have to spell. I think that word's got an R in there somewhere.
No, but I think he used some emotive language and got fined. And he came out and said, look, that's just not on. That's just bullshit. I don't stand for it.
The witch hunt is now continuing. I'm back in the gun. We have to be robots.
Yes.
After we looked to the umpires when he came off the ground and dropped the two of the most colourful words that you can use when you are cussing in their direction, not at one, but apparently in their direction. And they've gone, all right, well, how's 3.5 sound? Better.
But he stood up for himself, and he didn't. It was probably the worst form of an apology I've ever heard if it was going to go down that path.
We were having the discussion, and it has been all week. Like, do you try and say to Toby, mate, calm it down? You've lost a week. You've cost the club. Absolutely not. Is there a way you can tell Dane Zorko to calm down, pull his head in? Well, there's not. But I guarantee you, if his missus said, Dane, that's $3,500, you're getting towards the end. Certainly a discussion I had when I kept getting fined. So you're giving a lot back.
Well, Toby's the most fined in history. So
different strings. Don't worry about the coach. Get the old missus on the phone and say, hey, straighten up. That's a lot of cash that's going towards the school fees.
it was just beautiful banter. And it was good because again, I didn't realise, but even asking Toby, the new information that come was that Paps is going, ask him how many elbows he's had, Dicko, because he's had more of them than kicks. Like, he's yelling that out at Toby is what Paps said yesterday on his podcast. And then Toby was saying he's getting peppered while Dicko's asking him, and he knows that he's had a bit of a stinker in the first half, and so's the boys. So in the heat of battle, all he was trying to say was underdone. He ended up saying he's overweight. See how he goes in the second half.
TFG Tuesday's always flying. Like, the news that's picking up, we did it on Agenda Setters on Channel 7. It is becoming the number one source for all things GWS content. And well done to Tobes too, because he could have come in and gone, I'd be a bit careful here. Be yourself. We love it. You didn't go into any areas you shouldn't. Well done. And well done to you, Thomas.
Yeah, it's all Toby. Don't thank me. It's all Toby and the crew behind the scenes that put it all together. But it's with
TFG Tuesdays.
Just American Aces. It's on every Tuesday. We drop it. We record obviously Monday night. We turn that thing around as quick as we can, and it comes as soon as you wake up. It's right there for your ears and your eyes. But Toby's been amazing, and that's the vision's coming alive, right? I always said the vision of the ups and downs. You're going to get the good. You're going to get the boring. You're going to get the bad. But that's a beautiful thing. It's a long season. There's always a new storyline, and yeah, I just thought the banter. And that's a big game for the club. They lost 8 of the last 9, so you knew the heat was going to be there. But yeah, it's fantastic. So if you haven't checked
Toby's
it out.
got a future in the media. I know he's done.
I 100% think he does.
Channel 7 he's done.
He's done Channel 7, and he's done with Daisy. And I reckon Daisy, you could even attest to this. His improvement is just getting better and better. And I reckon he's starting to relax, and these podcasts are certainly helping him. And mate, as if you wouldn't want
credit for his media career. I like it.
No, I'm saying he's practically the Godfather. He hasn't practiced. He never spoke to the media, and this is something new. And I reckon he's going to be very good at it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the Triple M box next to Daisy and Stevie J after football.
Sees the game really well and articulates it really well, which is the two biggest things you have to do when you're trying to talk about the game.
Really well said. Okay, there's plenty to talk about, but the weekend, let's go over the football, okay? Friday night, there's a Giants third quarter, and there's the two Tall Timbers. By the way, shout out Points Bet. The Trains Tall Timber Bet got up $7. No dramas. We'll go again this week. So there's that. Then it was Jezza's 11, and then there's the Sunday night that saved that game. It was so ugly, and then you could talk about St Kilda, the greatest comeback ever, or just the greatest moment of football ever. Which one was your moment that you loved the most?
I just think, it was on so many different media outlets, and that clip probably went for about 40 seconds, the last two involvements from Nas. So the mark, which was on any given day a ripping mark, but in the heat of the moment, and then to flush that goal, and then all the byplay that went from then on for him to be involved again, we call it a match winner, to do what a match winner does, grab the game by its balls and say, nah, I'm going to take this home, and then demand the footy. And again, in that clutch moment, flush the kick.
Flushed it.
And then even seeing Ross Lyon, I love seeing Ross Lyon, mate, laughing and going, oh, how good's this kid? Well, you've been coaching him for a while, mate. Didn't you know? But look, that's the purity of footy. And for a Sunday night, like you said, for a dead rubber, really, to be turned into one of the games of the year, that's clap to the St Kilda Footy Club and those who are commentating.
My heart goes out to anyone, and this is where my mind goes, to anyone who had Melbourne as the last leg of a multi. And there would be people out there. You'd be sitting there 3/4 time, you're going, look, 20 minutes to go, you go, geez, this is closer than I thought, but we're home. With a minute to go, you're going, surely not.
Or what about with 8 seconds to go when they go, hang on, bring everyone back, we've fucked the numbers up. You're going, surely not. Surely, Daisy, surely the wingman will stay on his man and surely the midfielders will man up on their best player. How can they do a quarterback wide receiver route as like you're at the beach and you're a kid and you go, hey, I'm gonna run him right, then run him left. How can that possibly happen?
Well, generally, because the 666 was the abnormality within this thing. Often there's a chance for someone to win the game, but it goes back, you throw it up. So you're trying to run halfbacks off, one team's trying to clog it up. Mm-hmm. So as soon as it got to the 666 infringement, well, the St Kilda had the ball, so they were trying to run trick plays. And the fact that Nas went in there with Rowan Marshall and they actually orchestrated a play.
Yeah. And But what are Melbourne doing in that moment?
Well, that was it. They were all panicked. Like they didn't have anyone, because they all wanted to run off first, which is fine. You just have to have one bloke in the square. So Max Gawn could have gone to the back of the square line. You just had to have somebody as a representative as a ruck.
Yeah. So they could have 3 at the edge and then 1 in the circle.
Correct. And but the thing was, because it was 8 seconds, this is the beauty of it, and I love all this nerdy shit. Everyone expected the ruckman just to boot it. Like, it's going long and strong, and if you take a mark, good luck, or we're crumbing and we're kicking a goal. The fact that he went, see ya, pull the kick.
Oh, he doesn't get enough credit, does he? That
The
kid.
kick's unbelievable.
Laced him.
It was, as you say, it was the quarterback, falling back. Like, shorter.
Laced him.
Shorter, Viney probably gets a play in it. Longer, I think it was Bowery flying out. That kick hasn't probably got the love it deserves. So well done to you, big Rahan Marshall.
Yeah. Yeah, big Rahan. We'll leave you there next year, you reckon?
You know the clips that's, again, it's been on TikTok and Instagram where they
TikToker? Well,
I'm not a TikToker, but they overlay the what were your LinkedIn sort of
the LinkedIn TikToker. You've got a few of them out there, do we?
No, but you know they overlay the Titanic music. The Titanic. Have you seen the Titanic music? Come on. Now it's not worth it.
No, we're taking the piss out of
Everything's better with the Titanic music.
Everything's better with the Titanic. That's my point.
TikTok ET. So we're going with Nas as that was just our favourite moment of the weekend.
Jezza kicks 11. He should have kicked 14. Like, in all honesty, he should be 73 on his way to the 100.
We're going to talk about North Melbourne for a second? Or we want to talk about Jezza?
No, you know what? You've started the show with an intent and an energy, and you want to level a few people. So if you want to level
how
North
supportive
Melbourne,
have I been of North Melbourne this year?
It's been pretty good.
Giving them a chance. Yeah.
And I
when they probably didn't deserve one.
delaying the. I'm like, we'll talk about them next week. Well, let's talk about them this week. Let's not talk about the players. Let's talk about the coaches. Let's talk about them trading away their first round pick. And is anyone going to acknowledge this?
I don't think this has been spoken about. So
my WhatsApp was blowing up with just my mates, and I'm going, because a couple of the boys that we're really close with are North fans, and we feel sorry for them because I feel like they should be delivering more. Anyway, Richmond's received North Melbourne's future, and it's their future first. I think they did a pick swap. Is my mail. That pick swap has now resulted in Richmond getting pick 2 this year, and they also have pick 3. So, I mean, you can flip this. Let's stay positive to the Richmond Football Club. We did. Can we all admit we disrespected them? Because a lot of people online saying, "Put your hand up if you did."
No, I've done.
We've done that.
Thank you, boys. Yep. I don't think we were strong enough. So, Richmond fans, we are saying we disrespected you guys at the start of the year. I think we all said you wouldn't win a game, and we put that out last week, and we appreciate you all acknowledging us, putting our hand up. Well, we're just acknowledging how good this deal has been for your club. You've got a lot of young guns in. We're seeing a lot of talent come through. They fight hard, grit, determined. They don't give up. Love it. Now they're going to get a second and a third in this year's national draft. And if you go to pick 2s, I'll read out 2 names. Darcy, who plays at the Dogs, and Dale Thomas. They're the type of players you get with pick 2. There's plenty of others I could pick, but the pick 2s, they are superstars. Sometimes the 1 you muck it up. The 2 is no pressure. They get the best. I can't believe that this has happened.
So they're going to have 2 and 3. So they can either choose the younger stars or they can really start to manoeuvre some players around.
High profile.
Has Harley Reid ever been linked to Richmond? Because that's a package right there.
Like LinkedIn or linked?
Is he on LinkedIn?
I haven't checked.
We said we wouldn't talk about Harley. Let's leave Harley away, but alone. But no one's
in
talking.
The rundown train. Should we talk about Harley? I, like everyone else, are sick to death of this talking about Harley. Fair enough.
First 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah, brings him up. But when you package them up, you probably you pick them up. You wouldn't get rid of them. Maybe one.
He's sticking to his guns, what he's done.
Do you send it back to North for a bit of banter and say, give me one of your superstars? I don't think they're all. I think they're all signed up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
But that is a good talking point because North Melbourne, it hasn't been great on field, and now it's going to be giving away your best selection
it's
next year.
hard. It's hard to watch. I just couldn't believe how easy it was, though. Like you're watching it, I'm like, I don't know if you guys enjoy defensive mechanisms and how you play off ball and help
do.
your defense.
I really do.
I just couldn't believe
you forged your career
when
out
you
of
see Dangerfield and Jezza on no one.
Yeah.
We were always taught defenders defend, especially if it's a stoppage or whatever it is. But in general play, normally when you're getting smacked, blokes go away from the game plan and defend a bit harder. It was almost like the opposite. They were just pushing up. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, boys.
I can vividly see Caleb Daniel kicking out from full back, going that way, nothing there, going that way, nothing there, going back that way, nothing there, and then doing a 15-metre chip kick to the side to just transfer the pressure to someone else. Like you just, and then when you got him in the stranglehold and Geelong had them the whole night. There was no flow, and I felt sorry for him in that moment. It's like, what do I do?
It's a tough spot to be in at the end of the year when they know they can't make finals. But look, I still think North will turn it around. I just thought on the weekend.
It's going to be hard when they don't have any picks.
Well, I think they got a second or something. But yeah, they're going to be hard without that.
Trade that away.
Second. Anyway, staying on that game.
Just a second.
Staying on that game.
And then one of a third.
Dangerfield eating a kebab.
Yes.
Just,
More of it.
More of it.
Yeah.
More of
Well,
it.
look, if you get subbed out and you're hungry, have a snack.
Yeah.
It's a simple philosophy, one I'm clearly living by.
The question is, was it disrespectful or was it play on? Was it a bit
Disrespectful to.
That's what the run sheet
again, we're
says.
not-
That's what the run. I don't know. Who put that on the run sheet?
Which angle are we going there for?
More just like the only time you have a kebab is 3 a.m. when you've had a big night. And he just thought, well, I'm up by 100. Might as well have a kebab and just let this ram home.
I was enjoying it though, wasn't it?
I'll put this to you. How many kebabs has Danger had at 3 a.m.? I reckon the under-over is 1.
Well, you've been wrong with these under-overs with like Richmond with these low lines. I reckon he's had more. I reckon he's had more than one
Did
kebab.
you get any sleep last night?
Oh, just come in a bit fired up, boys. I am fucking tired. I give you the shit.
No, I love that.
All right, Doc, big shout out to Doc once again. How good was that seeing him bow out the way he did?
Yep.
But very
Bow out.
Yeah, there's like that little
division.
celebration as well.
Yeah, well
but
done.
a bit stiff, wasn't he? He got a big deer just jumped on his head and said, "Thanks for your services, big fella."
Yeah.
Getting a hanger taken on you. Love the mic'd up stuff. We need more of that, don't we?
The Blues were awesome, though. They really got up for his last game. Really, heart and soul player will really get up.
How's the start though?
I don't know. I've had an absolute gutful.
Oh, man.
How many weeks have I just said, bring some sort of intent, bring some sort of effort, put an arm into an opponent? Oh, pooch.
Where's that pooch hat?
Oh,
Let's
mate.
put the pooch hat
Honestly,
on.
there's not enough pooches on that.
How does a club not stand up for someone like him? At least the first 10 minutes. Like they were blown out in the first 10.
Well, the game was over at quarter time,
Give
wasn't it?
up.
Unfortunately.
I give up. I'm done. I'm not speaking about Carlton for the rest of the year.
There's a lot of things to talk about. We've already spoken about the that stuff. But Nas, guess what pick he went in the draft, boys? Just a
13.
11.
Oh, it's close.
Really good recruiting from St Kilda. If you look at that draft, I've got it here, but this might be one of the most. This isn't a. This is. I mean, heck. Let me read these names out. Tell me the 2021 AFL draft. Did I? That
No, that was awesome. There's 30 words and none of them were a word that progressed your statement any
Maybe
further.
I do need to go back to bed. All right. Here's some names. The 2021 AFL draft. These are some of the best names going around. Jason Horne-Francis 1, Sam Darcy 2, Finn Callahan 3, Nick Dacos 4, Mac Andrew 5, Josh Rosselli 6, Josh Ward 7, Jai Amiss 8, Josh Gibbs 9, Neil Erasmus 10. Then you got Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira, and then you keep going. There's plenty more. Loman, Owens, Paul Curtis, Winhager, Ollie Dempsey, all in that draft.
Super draft.
That's a bloody good draft, isn't it? And
It is.
those first 10 are all obviously from 1 to 10. But Wanganeen-Malira to 11. Geez, a few clubs have missed out there, haven't they?
Story, yeah, that's a fun thing to do if you ever want to go through and just feel hard luck for any footy club. Go through their draft history and see who they've missed. The Dogs have had a few, the Saints have had plenty. So nice for them to get one right.
I'll put my hand
And
up as
one of
well.
the-
I mean,
one of the
Lockie
most-
Neal was in my draft. I went first round. I think he went fourth. What a disgrace that was from the
What
recruiters.
did you go?
Pick 16. Look at Daisy's reaction. Disrespectful. I was
Oh, you're a
a
star.
bit stiff, man. I was a bit stiff.
You wanted to go
To not go higher.
No, I was just stiff not to hang in the system for a bit longer, I was starting to come good. And then
Because Rossi didn't like you because you were late.
Yeah, he just didn't like when I was
Because you had
late
a
to
coffee.
meetings and that, had coffees and shit, But Lockie Neal, that's a gem. I reckon that's the best gem I've seen. What about you
With
boys?
better luck, could you have been better than Lockie Neal?
No.
That's not what you were saying off air.
No. Lockie a freak. But how does he slip to 58?
James Swan, Jimmy Hurd.
Chris Grant.
There's plenty.
Who's the biggest you've seen, like in your draft year? That was the one in your year that you went, because I think your one for me was Luke Parker. I don't know how he went to 30.
Yeah. Well, JJ was rookie. He's played 200.
Daisy, your draft?
I'm not going to lie. I don't really know any numbers after 2. I checked right out. Look, Pendle's
you know
went
what's
5.
done me? Me telling Daisy what pick I went, and he's done these ones. Did ya? In other words, I thought you were shit ass. I thought you'd be a rookie.
Yeah. No, you read my mind. I like mid-20s. 16's pretty high. Like, if you go through the list of players
well, I was a workhorse, mate. 15.
Yeah, well, you get your workhorses with your 30s.
You 16-2 or something. Yeah, it was just a
Run
work.
all day.
I should have been in the Tour de France.
But no, I still remember back to even the Hawthorn draft where they got Buddy and they got Jared Ruffhead in the top 5. If you get 2 top 5 picks, like we said, Richmond are now going to really enjoy, it can shape your list for a long time.
If you want to talk about the ones that missed there, so Richmond took Richard Tambling with the pick before Lance Franklin.
Number 4, pick 4. I remember that.
Yep. And Geordie Lewis came a bit later.
Hey,
too,
it comes in roundabouts.
Oh, no, that's the thing. Like, it's easy with this lens of hindsight. As we know, it's very, very tough. But I know the Richmond fans love to bring that one up.
All right, let's be serious for a second. You're both good mates with Jack Silvagni, so let's just address it on the Aces AFL show, powered by PointsBet, of course. Let's get straight into it. Jack Silvagni, rumoured to go to the Pies. Daisy, I'll start with you. You've done the Pies to the Blues. It doesn't happen too much. You're good mates with him. What can you talk to us about on the Aces AFL show?
Well, I'm not a liar, and I just said I'm not going to talk about the Blues 5 minutes ago. So
Okay.
I'll talk about it from a Pies angle. Be a very good recruit to get to the Pies. Do I feel sorry for Jack? I like the fact that he's now in a position where he has serious leverage on his career. He's been underappreciated, undervalued, and has been one of the few people that throughout everything and every game he's brought effort, intensity. You can see how much he cares. He's got pride in his performance. Doesn't guarantee you play well every week, but he's someone who has really tried his ass off every week and stuck to a game plan when others haven't for self-interest. So for him to now have the opportunity to, 1, feel valued, but 2, to maybe go elsewhere or the future is in his hands, which I love, and good on him because he bloody deserves it. And I know all Carlton fans sit there and go, if we lose him, like, this is just another dagger. He's heart and soul of a joint, not just because of his last name, but how he plays as well.
Yeah,
Really well
spoken, mate.
Well, do you want to continue off the back of that?
I'll just probably drill down on the value bit.
Well, you were through similar things.
Went through some similar things where, again, you're just in that transition where you don't feel like you're appreciated by the club that you're at. And the only thing you can do is, look, do I love the game enough to want to explore going somewhere else? And you talk about the family connections to that place. I had similar connections with the Bulldogs and my old man playing. So I can empathise with him, how he was feeling.
Did it get to a point where you were entertaining offers?
Yeah, no, I definitely through a period of time where you what else is out there. And I think when you, again, sit down with the coach or the powers that be or the people that you feel are responsible for your future down at the club, the word value and whether you're seen to be part of the future of the footy club is the main question. And for a long period of time, it felt like Jack didn't feel like he was valued. And, the only word you probably didn't use to describe him was reliable, a really reliable character on and off the field. So someone that you can build a culture around and can help, build that culture up. And I wish Jack all the best. He's a really good kid. He's a really good player, really good person, and a really good family. So, look, for him, I hope he makes the decision that's best for him. And at the moment, I feel like a fresh start in an environment like Collingwood is the way to go.
We talk about feeling valued. Collingwood make every player on the list feel as if they are as important as the number one star. Or if it goes the other way, you're just all the same, which is something that really good clubs are getting better at because it is something that not a whole lot of people talk about. When you've been in the industry, the game is hard if you're at the very peak of your powers. It becomes a lot easier because you get to do it your way a little bit. When you're scrapping as the 20th through 26th bloke and you're trying to really get yourself into a spot, you're doing more than most and you're just like, bad luck, mate. Resold this week. Haven't spoke to the coach for 3 weeks. It's very easy just to walk around and go, all right, well, I don't really enjoy being here. Why would I stay? And thankfully, Graham Wright's come in and told Jack that he's really appreciated, and that's probably a lens from the outside, but it'd be interesting, a big watch to see where he goes. Yep.
Really well said. Just back to you, Wal, because you've dived on this. We've actually done a Tommy Talks podcast, and Wal opened up. Yeah, it's
is
a great
that on
listen.
the Oz American Aces platform?
That's exactly where it is. Go check that out because it's a classic.
Episode number 1.
But you're in a really sticky spot. You were the vice captain. You were teaching Bont leadership skills, and he was coming to you for a lot of things. And not a lot of people know this. He was very raw, and you were trying to lead him as well as you could, but you also felt a little bit disrespected from above because they would, you were in and out of the side and all that. And you found it really hard to give him, I guess, feedback when you felt like you weren't being valued. Talk to us about what that feels like in a little bit more depth.
Yeah, it's a challenge and like something upon reflection of that period of time. You talk about what you would change in footy. I would love to have been more a part of the, that season when I was vice captain. And when you are talking in leadership groups about how things are operating on field, and I can only do it from, an observer, and I can't really action it unless you're playing. So trying to give advice and steer in a direction, and not being a coach is different, but being a player, there's just this awkward feel of illegitimacy because you can't really walk the talk. You can say what you should do, but then you can't back it up.
Really well said, and it's great insight to the life that, being a vice skipper and not being able to, as I said, action it on the field. Now, I want to end on this note, but what is your advice to Jack Silvagni? He obviously he's in a good spot.
No, he's in a good spot.
He's got interest from clubs. He's going to set up his next phase of football. That's sometimes the hardest part. We're having a laugh about where I was at. I tell you what, I was the 26 guy, and you got no value, and you're on the streets, right? Jack's built the value up, and now he finds himself in a wonderful position to go, well, I've got the leverage. I'll pick where I want to be, and let's see. Money does talk, and also the culture of football clubs talk. So I just want to know, what's your advice to him? What do you think he should do?
Whatever's best for him. I think when you're in the position that he is, and the older you get, the more you realise that you are a part of an economy in football, and it's all about your own value, not so much your monetary value, but what you can bring to the team. And if you can't bring much, you don't get shown a whole lot of love, and you quickly moved on. For Jack, he's seen that. He hasn't been showed a whole lot of love because he hasn't had a great deal of value to the team. Now, all of a sudden, they're like, hang on a minute, other people want you. What, you might go somewhere. Geez, no, we love you, mate. Like, don't worry about how you've been treated for the last 10 years or how things have played out. We want you. So I think it's easy to get caught up in the romance of it. I know Carlton fans will probably say easy for you. You sold out from Collingwood to Carlton, and you don't know what it's like to have the father-son tag and the history of Serge and Sauce as well. But, if it is in 5 years' time and Jack decides to stay, good on him. He'll always be a one-club player if that's the way it goes. But if he leaves and goes to somewhere for success and is a part of success, that's not going to tarnish anything that he's done prior to this. If anything, it's just going to enhance it as a guy that did absolutely everything to get the best out of himself and backed himself in for opportunity at the end.
The questions that I asked myself, and I sat through with my family and my wife at the time, was, what's important to you? And number one, I think it would be for Jack as well, as family. So he's not looking at, I'm not sure he may be, but looking at clubs interstate. So I was looking at clubs interstate. So I'm like, well, family's important to me. I want to be around my family. So that was a big deciding factor. So that's probably one. I want to have a future in the game. How long do I want to play for? Now, if he wants to play forever, well, then, maybe the longevity of the contract plays into it. So there's another factor. So he's got to ask himself with the people that he loves and he really trusts, what do I want to get out of the rest of my career and what is important to me? And if playing at the one club is important to him, which it could be, we don't know. We're not in his own in his inner circle. Well, that plays a factor in the decision as well. But if it's not, if it's about longevity, feeling valued, being around success, well, they're all indicators that will push him into making a decision that may be not at Carlton. So I think the questions and the honest questions you ask yourself in that inner sanctum with the people that you trust, at the end of the day, there'll be a balance and a ledger, and the ledger will steer you in a direction.
You too, put your Jack Silvagni hat on. It's 4 years at the Blues for the same amount of cash as it is 4 years at the Pies.
If I was his management group, I would ask him to leave and go to a club that values him and is in a premiership window, because I think Carlton have missed theirs.
I'd be steering him to Collingwood. I'm
not just saying Collingwood. I think there's other clubs as well.
Yeah, Collingwood was the example.
But example.
But Gold Coast Suns, to me, is a good fit as well. I know you said family, they might want to get some sun, but I don't know the scenario. But I feel like there's other clubs that are on the up that he might want to be a part of. And I felt like when you were talking, I'm like, Gold Coast Suns would be pretty good because he can play. What I love about Jack is he's very versatile and he plays that Jake Malsham role. I'm going to call it a Jake Malsham role where he can go to their best defender and then hurt them, or he can go back and play third tall and put a bloke to sleep. That's what I like about him.
And he's proven the quality of character. So there's no club out there that's ever going to question the person he is. So then that gives him more opportunity as well. So he's got that solidified. And as you said before, I don't think there'd be a Carlton supporter or someone of the faithful that would question his motives because
they're going to blow that joint up, man.
No, but he's given 100% his service over time. So
that place is there's going to be a lot of player movement from there. Has to. So anyway, I'm
glad I'm not talking about him ever again.
Yeah, really good chat. One more from Nas. Is it Nas or Nas?
Nas.
Probably Nas because the S. Nas would be a Z, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's all right.
Nas, there's a lot of contract talk. We're not going to go into depth like that, but is he staying or going? And we'll continue this chat next week.
Keep your eye on the Crows.
Oh, boy. Well, quickly.
It'd be ludicrous to lose him. So I reckon they're going to throw the kitchen sink at him.
Has to be their number one priority. If they lose TDK as a part of it, I think you, as a Saints fan, you go, better luck.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
Good. It's got to be number one
you
priority.
You think he stays?
I'm trying to work out why he hasn't signed already. So I'm naturally feeling like he's not going to stay just yet. But a lot of things can still play out. There's still 4 more rounds to go. But why wouldn't he have signed? They're throwing everything at him. The money that he could sign right now, honestly, could be nearly it's probably $2 million. You know, like they're probably looking at that going, he's worth it.
And they're going, I've got 4 more games. This is going up at about $250,000 a quarter at the minute. I'm going to be on $6 million by the end of the season.
Have you seen a better
by about $500,000 in that
he
last
couldn't have
10
timed.
seconds
Is this
of the
the
game?
best timing of being out of contract ever?
Yes.
Anyway,
Maybe
right.
that should be a list for another day. Players who had their best
Jared
years. Sherrod Wellingham.
You got one too.
when your contract's up, who could be the
I
best
reckon
player?
Reedy from Swans.
1-year deal.
He was always like,
He's a good man though, Reedy.
yeah, but I felt like he just signed bombs.
Yeah.
Like if he injured for 3 years, then he just dominate and sign him. Don't you reckon? Anyway, we'll consider it all
Shout
day.
out to Sherrod.
It's time. It is time, Wall. It is the All-Australian
here we go.
squad. We've been waiting for this, and me and Daisy off air were just chatting, and we were going to pepper you with a couple. We've got 2 each that we want to see on there. So, Wall, it's all over to you, the All-Australian squad.
So this is littered with stars. Like we're at the point end of the season now, so we've got 20 rounds to view these players. There's some players in here that have missed a couple of games, but in terms of their average output and their effect on games, they thoroughly deserve to be here.
Where are you starting?
I'm
Back
starting
line?
in the back line.
Righto.
So in the back pocket, we've got Callum Wilkie. Look, he ranks elite for disposals and marks as a defender, and he's number 1 in the AFL for marks. And talk about reliability. Now, this is from a coaching point of view. I'm putting this team on paper as well. He hasn't missed a game since debut, 151 straight. So in terms of reliability, put his name on the board straight away. Full back, we've got Sammy Taylor. I know he's missed a bit of footy, but still ranks number 1 for intercept marks, number 5 for intercept possessions, and he's in the top 5 contested mark as well. Absolute star defender and reliable. Lockie Ash obviously had an outstanding year. He's number 1 for effective disposals off the back line and 2nd in rebound 50. So there's me back 3. Okay. As we go to the back flank, we've got Bailey Dale of the Bulldogs. He's ranked 2nd behind Lockie Ash for effective disposals, in the top 10 for rebounds. And talk about best kicks in the AFL and setting up a team. He's the reason why the Bulldogs are number 1 for attack. Centre half back, toyed with this one a little bit, but I put Harris Andrews in there. I think he ranks number 2 for spoils and 3 for intercept marks. So he's really good at obviously defending. But I still vividly remember that game of the year that he played against Geelong, where he manhandled Geelong and Brisbane had that strong win. So look, he's had some highs this year. And then who could, we've mentioned a lot off the top of the show about Nas on the other half-back flank. He's littered with great stats. 2nd for disposals, 4th for uncontested possessions, 1st for total metres gained. And for any of you fantasy players out there, number 1 for fantasy, which is obviously important when doing stats, but he is a proven match winner, obviously winning the match on the weekend, which is a really important, again, when picking a side, you want multiple match winners. If we go across to the midfield, we have a new ruckman. We have Brodie Grundy, who has edged out someone, and I will mention his name later. But number 4 for hit-outs. And if you talk about a rare patch of form, in the previous 6 weeks, 52 out of a possible 60 coaches' votes. So in the eyes of the coaches, not only was he performing the role, but he was having major influence on games. So he's 2nd for hit-outs to advantage, he's 2nd in ruckman for clearances, so he gets his hand on a lot. And around the ground clearances, he's number 3, so including midfielders. So his influence around the ground is prolific. My ruck rover, would you call it, is Nick Dacos. Look, number 1 for disposals, number 1 for coaches' votes, number 1 for score involvements. He's Brownlow favourite. I think he has to be in your side, so he is an absolute lock. And my rover is Noah Anderson. Now, I've put leadership on here because I think his influence on games from a leadership point of view has been outstanding. He's 4th for total clearances, 3rd for centre clearances, which is important. But number 3 for disposals and 2 coming second, in the coaches' vote. So again, in their eyes, going really well. On the wing, running the wings is Bailey Smith. Now, this is an interesting one.
You pushed out a wingman to put a midfielder in.
Yeah, but he runs the lines really well. Now, this was an interesting one between him and Max Holmes. Look, Bailey had missed a fair bit of footy and he was actually, there was a question mark whether he played on the weekend or not, but then he came out and had that blinder. So I'm lucky I didn't say my team last week because it may have looked a little bit different, but he's averaging the most disposals, the most metres gained, and he's the hottest player in the AFL as well. I don't know whether that comes into your...
Is that pun unintended?
Do you mean to look at?
Yeah, to look at,
I
yes.
agree. Visually very pleasing.
Very, very pleasing. Look, there's been question marks whether he's playing this week. I'm not sure, but I think he's got enough runs on the board to round 20 to firmly cement his spot. Then we go into the middle. Jordan Dawson, centreman. Again, I've put leadership up here in lights. Always grabs a game by the scruff of the neck. He's averaging 24 disposals. He ranks elite for tackles, kicks, and marks as a mid. But in the clutch, had some really big games this year. So we'll talk about leadership roles in the team at the end, but he'll feature highly there. And Huey McLuggage. He gets there. He hasn't, I must admit, I didn't have him in my first All-Australian team, so he's an inclusion, but he's 4th for score involvements, averaging 26 touches, but his balance of inside and outside just really rounds out this side well. He ranks for 11 for clearances, but really strong tackle numbers and marks as a midfielder. So, look, he's prolific and he's very effective forward of centre. If we go down to the forward line, and I think this was probably the easiest to choose.
I like that you said that.
Yeah. We've got a lot of locks here, and I don't think this will move come the end of the season. But Jamie Elliott, career best form. He's 3rd in goals across the competition, 8th for score involvements, and had a real purple patch where he kicked 23 goals in 6 games across the season. But you've touched on previously in the pod, his work rate, it's first class, and there's no other reason than that he gets on the end of a lot of his opportunities. At centre-half forward, we've got Jeremy Cameron. Obviously, he's not full forward, he's centre-half forward because I still think he's so much value up and down the field. 69 goals to this point in the season, 3rd for score involvements, and he's got 15 more shots on goal than anyone else in the comp. So I know he's winning, but he's getting so much opportunity to kick goals as well. On the half-forward flank, Daisy, you love this man, Keziah Pickett. Now, he wasn't in my All-Australian in the halfway through the year, but he's kicked 36 goals and he's averaging 19.8 touches. So if he has a few prolific games from a disposal point of view, to average that nearly 2 goals a game and having 20 touches, you're in rare air if you can average those.
Last time it happened was Stevie Johnson way back when.
There you go. And Stevie Johnson will tell you himself he was a gun.
Yep.
But versatility, and then I put match winner. He is a match winner. When he plays at his best, there's no one that can touch him. If we go down to the small forwards now, we've got Eddie Richards. Now, I know he's played a lot in the midfield, but does rest forward, and he's number 2 for score involvements. He held that mantelpiece for most of the season and got pipped by Nick Dacos on the weekend, but number 1 for goal assists. So smarts and ball use.
Forward pocket for Ed Richards.
Yep, I want to get him on the field.
We'll come back to that.
I want to get him on the field, but he's number 1 for goal assists. So the ball in his hand, forward of centre, it's the most times that obviously he's leading that stat. Kicked 17 goals, averaging 26 touches, and this is interesting from a improvement point of view. Every statistical measure, barring marks, he's improved this season. So in terms of a most improved award, he'd have to be winning that. At full forward, we've got the thrill seeker.
Yes.
Mr. Riley, 44 goals in the season. He's in the top 10 for score involvement, 6th for goal assists, but the big one is 3rd for contested mark. He's breaking packs open. He's really influencing games. We love watching him play. Everyone loves calling games when he's playing, and look for a really big involvement for him this latter half of the year. He could be, there's a lot resting on his shoulders for Adelaide's success. So, watch him. And Mitch Georgiades is the other one, being a fan of the show.
I just heard North Footscray, just the little twitch of the shrinkter.
Being a fan of the show, I had to put him in there, but his stats speaks for himself. 2nd in goals, 2nd in shots on goal. Number 1 for marks on the lead and number 1 for marks inside 50. So a work rate, running pattern, type of player. And to a team that's probably, had their struggles this year, for to have that stat and be so clearly number 1 in that stat, goes a long way to say that he's had an outstanding year. Now we'll go for the blokes that aren't on the field.
The bench.
The bench.
I've just been jotting some names
Yes.
down, and I've currently got 3, 6, about 12 blokes that you're going to fit in to 4 spots.
So I've got the next man in category too, which we'll touch on.
Well, I think the next man in category hits the comments below, and you just tell.
You just tell us your team, and we'll tell you where you're going wrong.
Dane Zorko. So the relieving high half back. He's number 1 for rebounds. Rated very highly in marks. Again, from a leadership point of view and a success point of view, knows what it takes to win a grand final in September, which is really important for team balance. I've got Maxie Holmes. Look, he was edged out on the field from his teammate in Bailey Smith, but 6 for inside 50s. He's averaging over 26 touches, high meters gain, high impact player, really important. Oh, God. Now, this is the challenging one. This is the challenging. This is here.
I like how.
So I've gone a back, I've got a mid, and now I'm going to go a forward. And this is my man. I've been on his case all year, Jack Gunston. He's
in the side. Huge.
I'm looking at your sheet, and is he on the list? Is he? You just put him in?
Nah, he's there.
There you go. You've highlighted him to just give him an absolute shout out.
So 45 goals.
There goes my question.
He's got 16 goal assists, and he's second for amongst the keys for score involvements. But just some of the clutch goals that he's kicking and prowess, the leadership point of view, his marks on a lead. He's a really finely tuned player, which is part of the reason Hawthorn are going so well. And if they want to knuckle in September, they'll need him firing.
The last player.
Now,
life on the line.
I had to go versatility here. It could play across multiple lines.
It's not a ruckman. You can't put
Silvagni.
a ruckman.
No.
Is it a forward? Is it a forward mid?
No, his brother's already picked. It's Josh Dacos.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think we've seen some of his exploits as a half-back, as a person, as a meters gain player. He's third for uncontested possession, but we also saw him in that game against Gold Coast have the best individual effort from a midfielder's point of view. So if one of the midfielders were to drop out, he could obviously fill that void. So there's the 22.
Yes, well done.
And I've got a couple here that...
Let us pep you first. I'll start as a wingman.
Yep.
I protect our wingmen.
Yes.
I feel like you've thrown mids to the wing. They can play wing. That's fine. I think they deserve to be in the team. But there's a wingman that plays for Geelong, Dempsey, and he plays the role better than anyone. And as a wingman, a true wingman, deserves a reward to play the wing in this side. I feel like did he come into question?
So you talk about a squad of 40, and I hope he makes a squad of 40 this year. He will be in that squad of 40.
Okay.
Now, you know what it's like with the All-Australian committee. You need that year, that breakout year where you put your name out there.
Well, not anymore, though. They've shifted.
Yeah, they have, but I'm just...
Not in Wallace theory, yes.
Okay,
in terms of
that well.
the law of averages of the last 20 years... No, but I think he'll definitely be spoken about. But in terms of some of these other players and their influence on game and ability to play the position, I know when he was on the pod, we say that he was creating his role that was suited to him across the competition. So look, hats off to him. Very unlucky, but watch this space. I'm sure he's going to get a blazer by the end of his career.
Why do you hate Fremantle?
Why do I hate Fremantle?
I've got Sarong as my next one, so well done, Dave.
Sarong is, you talk about unlucky and next man in, he does form part of that list. I'm sure you boys can see it on my desk here. Unfortunate, look, not everyone can fit in. I think my question to you is, if Caleb was to play, who was to miss out?
Well, it can't be Matty Rao because he's not in there.
He's part of the 4, next man in.
And this is why it's the toughest job.
This is the tough job.
Zorko on the bench.
As balance, yes, as a backman.
Would you argue?
Boston again,
I know. Ball lives down there. I'll look at the ladder position a little bit, so that's why it's like Zorks. He's had a good year.
I think with Caleb has had a couple of games where he's been, got tagged and had
no Max Gawn also.
Merritt. Does Merritt from Essendon?
Merritt fell out. Merritt fell out. He was in my he was in my team, but he fell out in terms of just how he's been thrown around a bit. His best position is midfield, where he can command the troops, have the ball in his hand. But he's been thrown back and on a wing and half forward to just try and generate a different look. He did come into consideration, but I just look at the team on paper and everyone, I can mount a strong case for why they should be there. And look, Sarong's unlucky because his output, especially in the back half of the season, has been extraordinary. But there's been just a couple of blips on the radar, and off the back of Fremantle's up and down form, I think that was just a deciding factor.
Ed Richards or Isaac Heaney in a forward pocket?
mate.
It sounds like a terrible exercise, by the way.
No, it
Well
is
done.
because I could mount the case that, well,
The first thing you'd do is you would flip Elliott and Richards. I think Richards has to play half forward and Elliott forward pocket.
Anyway.
Then you could argue the half forward flank.
This is why we love this. Well done. It is bloody tough, and you've put a lot of thought and effort into it. And the good thing is the feedback comes a bit like the power rankings. It comes pretty thick and fast. So I look forward to leaving it.
Well done. Hey, round of applause, Daisy. Round of applause.
Absolutely.
And if you are listening to this, well, good work. But if you're watching it, get in the comments. We have all your best comments coming up at the end of the show. So a little shout out to 4 of you that we've got there from last week. We're going to give them a shout out. I saw 27.
Nice.
It was a great week, great response, but it should be higher now because we have Well's All-Australian side. Obviously, there's 4 weeks to go, so there's going to be a lot of things that can change, but we want you to just pepper Well with what you think, and we'll come back next week with a theme. I think the theme will be a player and someone they want in or out, and then we'll bring it up. So really well done, Well. Looking forward to the feedback. Let's get on to this week's games, gents. It's a big round, 21. Oh, my God. This is when it starts to really heat up, and it couldn't be a better game. I'm going to be going. Are you going to go to this game?
No, I'm playing it safe. My wife is near on 39 weeks. So I've just,
fair call, fair call.
Got the phone on the table.
I'll be playing it safe with my same gamer because I'll stay out of the result, I reckon. This is going to be a tough game here. Do or die for the Bulldogs. I'll give you some quick stats, courtesy of our friends at StatMate. 1-8 versus teams in the top 8, but that one win did come against the Giants. Ooh. Western Bulldogs, they rank 1 for disposals, 4 this season, so they love it. And Giants are rank 4 for disposals for also. So this could be a high disposal game. Lockie Whitfield, 34 disposals per game is what he averages in his last 5 against the Dogs. 31, 36, 31, 42, and 30. Matt Kennedy's had 25 plus in 4 of his last 5 against the GWS Giants. And Sam Darcy has booted 20 goals in his past 5 matches at Marvel Stadium, kicking 3 plus in 4 of them. They're your special stats from our best mate, and that is StatMate. And if you haven't downloaded this app, the best part about it is it's free. So get on the App Store and download it. Boys, this is a prime time, absolute classic. Toby Green out with a 1-week suspension.
Yep.
We have Jack Buckley out with a calf. Chook Kelly out with a calf. A little bit of depth issues there. Not depth issues. They got depth, but, leadership out. Bulldogs flying. What are we going to tip?
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. And you talk about a match for a round. I know I'm biased because my doggies are playing.
Don't be biased, though. Go
but this is like...
You heard him.
Right.
Off on the line here,
No, but like Bulldogs, you talk about a healthy list. Outside of Adam Treloar, who's still battling with his calf issues, and Cody Waitman, who hasn't played all year, the Bulldogs are fit and firing. They should be playing their best footy. And 13 goals between the 2 key forwards last week was something good to watch. Whether they can replicate that again, but again, the power of the midfield, Bont 35 and a couple, Ed Richards continuing on that form. There's weapons everywhere. And I think if you tuned into the game on Channel 7, you saw Bevo still flipping his lid when defensively they broke down. They were playing against Essendon and a mob who, again, we've spoken about a VFL side that they're putting up, but I think they're still going to have to hone in on that defensive side if they're going to have any say in August and into September. So GWS, like you said, they're missing Toby, which is a big one, but Stringer continually to improve.
The Package Cup,
Cup, and Callahan with another best on ground, which is great. Interesting enough, the last 5 Bulldogs are 4v1 in terms of wins, so they've won 4 of the last 5, and the last 3 have been an average of 5.5 goals.
I think they've won 8 of the last 9.
Yeah, so there you go.
Same as the Sydney form, but they crashed that last week.
Yep,
extrapolate.
So they've had their measure. So it's a big game, and you talk about the Bulldogs' future. Well, it's in their hands. If they lose this game, they can nearly kiss playing in September goodbye. And also just from a fraud point of view, like to be 1-8 against the top 8 clubs, like. Seriously, if we want to be revered as a club that's challenging to play against, you've got to play your best against the best side. So hopefully they win. I'm going to tip them. I'm going to tip them comfortably, actually, just with some of the outs that you've mentioned before. I think GWS's depth will be questioned, and those 2 key forwards are going to kick another big bag.
Oh, you said they haven't been very good defensively. Well, they got Jesse Hogan, Cadman, and Stringer just sitting up there with a bit of pressure up forward. I reckon it'll be closer than you think.
Are you going the Giants?
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be going for the Giants. What I will say is it'll be very close. I think it'll be down. It'll be that on points bet less than 15 points. Any team to win. I reckon that try bet's the go in this one. But what I was going to say was if the Dogs didn't win, it'd be a boring finish to the year because everyone would probably separate by 2 games.
Yeah.
So this is probably big for the AFL, this game, isn't it? All eyes on this. Daisy, you give us your tip.
I'm going to be leaning towards the Western Bulldogs with not a whole lot of confidence. I'd actually found a really nice market here that I was keen to have the Propeller in, but I've been banned from Thursday night football and Friday night football. So that's well and good. But the good news is for the punters out there, you can have a piece of it. Both sides to score 80 plus. Both sides in this match to score 80 plus is $2.45. I'll read you through the last 6 scores for the Western Bulldogs. 143 points. They had the 76, so 4 short against the Lions. It was pissing down. The 98 against the Crom, 134 against North, 105 against Sydney, and 135 against Richmond. And the Giants, 102 v Sydney, 104 v Essendon, 111 v the Cats and the Eagles, 106 v the Suns, and 107 v the Lions. This should be a shootout because both sides, they don't want it in the contest. They want it going up and back. The Dogs can't really defend that well against the better sides. The Giants, they play better against the top 9 sides than they do the bottom 9 sides, which is a bit of an anomaly. Going to be a cracking game of footy. Dogs just in hopefully a shootout, and I might be having a little piece of that market just for myself responsibly, of course.
The line goes up at 175.5 from PointsBet. So that's interesting as well. I thought it might be a little bit higher. We'll have to just see how it goes. But you should see, if they've scored 95 against Adelaide, that is great form because Adelaide's defence is elite. All right, well, let us know who you think wins that. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. It's a really big game for both clubs. Giants want that top 4, and with their skipper out, some players are going to need a lift. Obviously with Jack Buckley out as well. All right, this is another cracker. We're going to talk about the crackers this week. Adelaide hosting the Hawks. Adelaide Oval, 7:40, Australian Eastern Standard Time, Friday night football. Quick tip, boys.
Good game of footy. Crom at home, going to be very hard to get past. They're playing some really strong defensive footy in the back line that we continue to say, not sure who they are, but geez, they get it done week in, week out. The Hawks, did we see enough or did I see enough just to get it done on the weekend? I think I did. I think hot ball might be back. I know you've got questions as to what they've done in the bigger picture, but you've heard me say we want the back half form. Of these last 5 games come September, this is where you want to be going. And I reckon just with what they did last week, it wasn't hugely convincing against the Blues. I think they're good enough to win it.
Yeah, that slab of whatever I wanted, which is the vodka Ren, hasn't rocked up. I'm happy to go double. Well, I'm happy to go double or nothing on this game.
Absolutely.
So I'll take Adelaide, but I'll take Adelaide 1-39. Gives you a buffer in case Adelaide win by 40 plus.
Okay.
And you can take Hawks.
Do I get? Oh no,
I don't want a line bet. I want a head to head.
Okay.
Get a slab of red.
Double or nothing.
Yeah.
I'm very confident Adelaide at home.
Okay. Well, they are your favourite, so I'm not really giving you anything.
Well, we don't have to do double or nothing. It was more if you wanted to do it.
Happy with double or nothing.
I like
the hop.
Hey, I'll get up to about 12 slabs and then give them all away. You watch. Like I'll get done with another double or nothing. Well, anything else you want to talk about that game?
Interesting. They both had the bye in round 15 and then they're 5 straight. They're 5 on the trot. So this will buck the trend for wins for those 2 clubs. So I'm going to tip Adelaide at home as well. Just
have you gonna I come in hot at the start of the show. I know
you'll have to wait and see.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for your Propeller Bet. There was a Propeller Bet option there in that game. I'm gonna see if Wall sticks to his plums.
Stick to your guns,
Happy for you to do whatever you want, Wall. Just lies on the line attitude. Melbourne Eagles, that is Puch. Harley Reid, shout out. Hope you're going all right. Hate seeing superstars go down. Geez, he started to really hit some serious straps late. He's going to be a beast.
You said you're not going to talk about him.
I'm just mentioning him, saying all the best of recovery.
Wrap it up. Melbourne Suns win by 100.
Melbourne Marvel. Geez, they'd be struggling after last week. Suns, Richmond, the Dimmer Cup. I think you said Richmond beat the Suns last time they played.
Did.
That's
11
crazy.
Points, Marvel Stadium. Line goes up 51.5 here. That's $2. Wouldn't mind a piece of that. Ben King 4 more goals. $2.50.
Another, geez, a Puchy slate on the Saturday. We've got Swans hosting Essendon. That'll be a blowout. Swans way you'd think. Now we get to a classic. Saturday night, prime time. Bold predictions, please. First v third. Pies hosting the Lions. The Lions. Well, you picked them last week. We loved it. 1-39 in the wet. They were 4-0, and the Suns were 0-3. But geez, when they talk about form not stacking up,
didn't
they had a mulligan like we all did. And Lachie Neale come out this week and was pretty strong and said they had a serious review. I reckon it's going to be a hot start in this one. Who wins this one?
No, I'm going to double down and go the Lions. And I think Collingwood are travelling okay. They're patching a few holes, and they didn't play that well against Richmond. If you talk about the sides that were on the park. Obviously, Nick Dacos had an absolute blinder with 42 and 3, which doesn't happen often. But I just think, Brisbane, a very mature side. They were tracking quite well up until that blunder last week. And I think that upon review, as you said, Lockie mentioned, they're going to come out firing. And unlike some other teams, when we ask them to stand for something, I think Brisbane will and start really well. And then it's about, the tried and true in the midfield, getting it done in Dunkley, Neal and McCluggage.
Like it. Daisy?
I think that I'm with you. I think the Brisbane Lions can win this game. They go up your outsiders. Not 100% convinced what Collingwood's actually done over the last sort of period. I know you can look at what they did against Richmond. It was good enough. And there is a little bit of that in my mind. Are they just doing enough to win? But I think Brisbane, they need to really come and make a point now. And, I said a few weeks ago they were susceptible to maybe dropping out of the 8, which was, you look at their form, hasn't been the case, but they need to start to get it going. And that was a really big letdown, what they did on the weekend. So I think they win, and you want a bold prediction. I'll be taking Charlie Cameron 4 or more goals at $16.
Wow.
Brisbane win and
That's
Charlie
not for the
kicks
propeller.
4.
Can you imagine Daisy locked in that for the propeller
$16
and it went up to 180
Do you like it though? Like you want
Charlie-
you want a bold prediction?
Yeah, who goes to him though? Does Maynard go to him?
Well, again, who does go to him?
I like Rayner in that one and Morris, but we'll talk about them later. I'm going to stick with the Pies 1 to 39 is what I like.
A bold prediction.
A bold prediction. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm the host.
I've got a question for you.
The bold
Don't question the host.
The bold prediction is I'm the host.
I'm asking you.
No, but
then.
I've got a question for you both.
Yes.
So Brisbane, a lot has been said about their last month of the season, playing against some really quality sides. And then you talk about Geelong, who are probably at the other end of the spectrum where they're playing all the teams in the bottom half of the ladder. Is that the preparation you want? Or do you want the preparation that Brisbane have where they're continually fighting each week against the best sides to hopefully limp into maybe a second chance or, the top end of the elimination spots?
I think I'd prefer to play the bottom 4 still and get myself that home final. And you know how you play, you know your best. You should know what you need to do against the top. You've all kind of played, or how many games are there in a year? You can see what stacks up.
Yep.
So I think I'd like to take that route. And it's about being healthy. So then you got the option to manage a few players. Like you saw Danger having a kebab at halftime. That's purely a management.
Yes, yep.
You can't get that if you're playing the top sides and you're scrapping and fighting like the Dogs and Giants will be on Thursday night for that top 4, top 8. I'll take the bottom 4 with a real strong emphasis on that first final, making sure that you're ready to go.
It is the one real standout in that top 9 draw, is that how easy their run is. They don't play anyone who's of any sort of quality, so it'll be a watch. I'm not really sure. We can hypothesise, but not sure. But very valid point, Sir Wall.
Now, let's go Sunday. Sunday is a fun day for all of us. We put up a few graphics. We have bold predictions. Can North Melbourne beat St Kilda? Does St Kilda have their piss up last week? I saw the head coach had Nas on his shoulders. They were celebrating all night, so they should have. North will have a really tough review, but there's only one way to respond in life, and that is to respond.
Have a piss up. Oh, yeah.
That is to respond. And do the complete opposite to what they did last week against
North
the
can win
Cats.
this game, Tom. To answer your question, yes, North can win this game, and I'm going to tip them. You want a bold prediction? I'm going to tip North Melbourne to win this game of football.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Well, there you go. You got it. And I honestly think they can.
If that's a bold prediction, I'll go a measly prediction that St Kilda will win.
Oh, just squashing it.
No.
I'd love
I
to
think
see
they're going
North
to
win.
galvanise after that. Obviously, Rossi Lyon, I know he's bought in all year, but he definitely bought into the celebration of the weekend. If that doesn't
They could
motivate
be
you as a
flat.
player.
Nas could have said, I'm not signing. They could be flat and go, fucking, what's the point?
on the gas.
I'd like to see North win. But I cannot tip them after last week.
Would you go as bold to say that they're out by that much that they sub out Nas and he hits a Silvagni at 3/4 time?
If they get up, the Kingers, you have to bring me a dozen bottles of wine.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's not. I'm the host.
I'll
All
have
right, moving on.
Cats, Port, how many goals is Jezza going to kick? Let's have a bold prediction on a Sunday. I'm predicting 7.
6.
2.
Wow. Why?
Because I think they'll be all over in Port Adelaide and there'll be opportunities for others, which is smart thinking, smart punting, which is why I'm going to play in that game on my propeller.
You're a dirty bastard. That's it.
And
That is the one I was going to take.
Come
That's
here
all right.
and say it.
That's all right. I like it. Fremantle Carlton.
Right, isn't it?
Fremantle
Fremantle
Carlton.
have to win. Again, Fremantle just have to win. If they don't, they're going to
They
undo.
win that game, surely. They couldn't fire a shot last week. Imagine going to Perth after last week. There's just no chance here, the Blues.
Oh, yes. I give them more of a chance than the $6 on offer.
All right, well, no one really gives a fuck about the Sunday game. They care about the Propeller, boys, and they care about who's on the Propeller. I actually don't know who there is. There's a custom American Asia's points bet hat. Well, can you reveal the new team on the Propeller? That is going to be the Darley Devils. Oh, the horny ones. There you go. The Darley Devils. The horny devils. You haven't heard of that saying before. Well, you didn't like that, Daisy, I mean. Yeah. All righty. Darley Devils, Daisy.
That's their nickname.
Does that Zach Butters territory?
He is Darley. I assume you're talking about that on the other one.
Assemble your positions after you give your thingos. What do you got, boys? I hope it's good.
It is good.
You've had a long time. You've had 21 weeks to think of a good one. So what do you got?
Well, I've narrowed it down to 2 in one game, and I'm going to lean towards a man who decided to have a Silvagni. It's in the second half. On the bench, I think that's just perfect preparation. If you haven't had a Suva at half time, have you live? So Paddy Dangerfield to kick 2 or more goals is even $2. He's obviously fresh. Port Adelaide are going to get smacked. The Cats are at home. Jeremy Cameron watch. Shaggy O'Neill was the other one. I didn't $2.85 for 3. Can steer past that. Yep. Danger for 2. Thanks very much.
I like it. A little bit of extra protein for Danger. What's he paying for 2? Do we get a bit of juice?
$2 even.
Oh, $2 flat. Nice.
Righto.
Well, this is big because I come in hot at the start of the show. You had 4 bets. I like 2 of them. What do you got?
Well, I'm going to the one that you didn't like. Recent form suggest 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3. Taylor Walker.
Oh.
Friday night, the Crom.
I love Texan.
I love the Texan. I love what he's been doing.
I love Texas.
And I had him in my sights last week, and that's hence my question before. So this week I'm going with him. He's going to kick his 2 goals for $2.15.
Okay. Like it, like it.
Oh, don't lie.
I love Texan. There's a man that's going to produce. It's the Texan.
Yep. There you go.
I just like the 1 to 39 better. All right.
For your life, Tommy.
Love on the line.
Love on the line. What are you going to do?
Logan Morris, 2 goals, plays full forward for the Lions. Expect a response. Darcy Moore, I think Voss kicked 6 on him 2 weeks ago. I don't mind that matchup for goals.
I'm just trying to do what you did to Wall.
Oh, yeah. No,
I prefer the 1 to 39 market.
Keep coming. Keep them coming. There you go. $2 flat. So we need a little bit of juice from whoever lands on the Propeller. Boys, assemble your positions. And all I ask is a big spin. I want a big one for this week. Round 21, the Profit Propeller as the boys assemble. Just a reminder, if you're listening, this is what we've got. We've got Danger for 2. We've got Texan for 2. Logan Morris for 2. All superstars. Let's hold that firm and give it a big spin. Righto, here we go. Daisy is there. Propellers off and running. Here we go. The winner for round 21 is going to be the Parkdale Vultures. There you go. I reckon that might be Jevy's mom. There you go. The Parkdale Vultures. Jevy from the 100K, the bloke you were drinking piss with a couple of. I'm pretty sure that's where he's from, that area. The Parkdale Vultures. There you go. There's a time to be a vulture. It's this week. Let's give them a call afterwards. Boys, been a great show. And I tell you why it's a great show is because we have great people supporting us. I want to give a shout out to everyone on YouTube, everyone on all the podcast platforms, social. It's been amazing. Let's get to some of your best. Jamie Wagner, loving the show, fellas. If my Saints and Carlton merged, would we make the 8? Cheers. Just quick fire here, Daisy.
Yes.
Very good. Sam Cox. Hey, legends, bit off topic here, but want you boys to rank your top 5 situational beers. Shower, post-win, balcony beer. Maybe give us your top 5 or number 1.
Airport beer, airport lounge beer before a holiday. 2, post-golf beer, post-surf beer, shower beer, and day 2 UDL. Not a beer, but day 2 UDL. Change up.
Like a recovery of a wedding.
Correct.
Nice. Daisy, you've nailed that. Well, you can stay out of it. Go, Walt. Go.
I'll give a top 2 then. Yeah. Because I agree with most of them. On a boat, so a yacht.
Oh, yeah.
On
a yacht.
On a boat.
Hang on, roll it out. Roll it.
Top 5 places to have caviar.
On a boat and a beach. That's
good. I'm glad you went.
Yep.
Benny Woodburn. Boys, saw Daisy in Hamilton Island the other week. He was walking down the main street in Speedos with his pooch rig flopping about. Get back in the gym, brother. Wow, I've just read that live, Daisy. Any feedback for Benny Woodburn?
No, I just embraced it. The sun come out. I had the Rubik's Cubes out the corners everywhere as well.
I love that.
It was bloody gorgeous. I was getting a few looks from the locals.
Do you have the AFL show hat on?
Are you a Speedos man?
Mate, if I was wrong, I got more respect for the people that Hamilton and I want to put this rig out there. Come on, old Benny.
Benny's made that up.
Yeah.
And there you go. A little word reminding people that we do read the comments and we love it. And I just found one more. Someone sent this in yesterday. Daisy, check the WhatsApp message. I want to finish on this. But while I think we've found someone that hates Daisy's burner account. It's the AFL Utopia Instagram page. Commentators, the best 22.
Oh.
And no name of Dale Thomas. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So we thought we'd send that to you. Someone doesn't like you, Daisy, because 22 blokes have been named above you. Quick thoughts to the AFL Utopia Instagram page.
AFL Utopia, you better make some changes. Expect a call from my lawyers.
Oh, he's cracked the shit. That'll do us. Thank you so much to everyone. I told you we shouldn't have shown him.
I love it.
Anyway, hit subscribe. Hope you enjoyed that one. A little bit longer, but make sure you get the feedback in a while. We want to read out everyone. Rip him or support him. We're going to read the best comments out, and that is fair income. That is fair income. See you next week. Cheers.
StatMate makes AFL player stats easy. At the click of a button, you can discover insights like you've never seen before. Disposals and goals to fantasy points, how a player performs at a certain venue, or even when a teammate is out through injury, StatMate has you covered. Don't waste your time. Become an expert in just a few taps of a button. AFL player stats and insights thanks to your new best mate. Download StatMate for free today.